standing on 3?
It has to be on 3.
I don't know, but now it's on 2.
It's working.
It's
Go.
working?
Good, good.
Okay. So we can just restart. I'll just do it. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're here again, now with audio, back in our Lynchian setup, as I said before, but you couldn't hear. I'm Anna, I'm from CBS Film, and I'm very happy to welcome Sara Koppel with us.
I'm very grateful for being here and you having me.
Yes, thank you for coming. So I started out with the first question, which I wanted to relate to Embraces and the Touch of Skin, your latest work that we also just saw before the conversations, and I wanted to ask you about how do you relate to this, the theme of hugging and touching and just touching strangers in the time of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I made this film before the COVID-19, so of course this is a huge part of me because it's kind of a self-portrait in some way, not just, but there is a lot of self-portrait thoughts in the film. And at this moment now, because of COVID-19, I think it's very hard actually, because I love meeting people and being in contact with them, and I feel I'm very like, I'm a physical person, so when I meet new people I like to, you know, say hello with hands and hugs, and also when for instance, like I'm teaching in animation sometimes, like I'm always like, it's very hard not to, like, if we are talking animation and showing stuff, not to be in a physical relationship, I think. So I think it's a little sad, the situation in that way. I miss it a lot. Like when I met you now, I like, and Claudia, and, you know, so like, yeah, it's
and
a
we
little
couldn't
hard.
hug.
Yeah,
only
exactly.
just the elbow bump.
I miss it, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is also, I hope maybe the film is having a brief situation now, because it changed the meaning in some way. Of course it's about what it is, but now it's a new situation, and maybe a lot of people feel that they need hug. I know it, so hopefully maybe the film could give them a little kind of hug. It could, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And amplify the meaning
Yeah,
of
exactly.
hugs once you again can hug.
Yeah, exactly.
strangers.
So
Yeah. We all look forward to that.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say in the meantime that I'm gonna look at my phone sometimes just to like see if there are any questions. So I'm not bored or anything. That's not why I'm looking at my phone. But yeah, so feel free to ask any questions that you want to ask from Sara in the meantime. But we're gonna go on with some other stuff. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about the work processes that you use when you're creating your AR works?
Yes.
Because that's super interesting.
I could. I'm just in the middle of a whole new augmented reality work. I'm planning to do a new exhibition with totally new works I'm doing now. So I'm in the middle of the process, and it's like a really long thing. But yeah, but I will try to talk about it. It's like, in some way, it's like making a very short animation film for you know, for the work I'm doing now. I'm having this idea of like a painted picture, and then I'm like having a lot of ideas of what should go on. So it's like for making this picture come alive. So it's like it is a little animation film, but it's just thought inside a drawing or inside a painted picture. And in that way, I'm just starting drawing, of course, and then I make a lot of drawings. And the normal process, as when I'm doing my short films, like that technical process is drawing animation, scan it in, coloring, setting it up. But in this case, it's a little different because from making a film, because it's not like with, you know, maybe not a storyboard. It's more like what's inside this picture. So it's another way of thinking animation, I think, for me. Anyway, it is like to think it more like, yeah, exactly what's in this picture, what can it actually do, and how can you tell some things, you know, without having like this typical dramaturgy that you're having in films, or like you're having a story you want to tell. This is more like I'm having a picture coming to life. And for instance, this single picture I'm working on now as an augmented reality piece, it's like having maybe a dimension of like, I don't know, it's gonna be a little big, but for now I'm almost done with making all the animation that should be inside, and it is almost 400 drawings. So you can see it's like it's not something you just do overnight. I've been working on this only piece for the last month at least, and I'm not sure when I will be finished with it, because now I start scanning it in and putting it together and making the color, and it's a lot of work for me to make it the color, because I'm always changing the colors and making. Sometimes I almost animate the colors as well. So I don't know. You cannot say like I'm not hoping that I will use 6 months on only one piece, because my plan is to make an exhibition with 12 pieces, which I will make into a book afterwards. So that could be 6 years. So I hope I can do it maybe a little faster. But you can see if I can show. I don't know if it's the time for showing. It's just
we
like
can show it. Yeah.
This is my latest augmented reality piece, and this is the drawing I'm talking about. You know, like this is what this already done, but now I'm working on some new stuff. But for this one, like what I'm working on now is another one, but inside what I'm working on now is like 400 drawings just inside this drawing when it comes alive. And you can see if you grab it like with your phone, and all you out there could like take, if you download the VOID app and you grab the picture, then you can see it unfold. And this one is not 400 drawings, it's maybe like 100 or 120.
It's magical.
Yes, it is. I think so. It's a totally new, I mean, new. I don't know if I could use the word new, because of course augmented reality has been for a long time, and all this technology and stuff like that. But for me, it's a new way for making my animation turning into something I actually been dreaming about for so many years. Like back in 2008 or something, I made this animation exhibition where I made a lot of big paintings, and I wanted actually to have the paintings come alive with animation, but at that time I couldn't make it because of the technology, and I didn't know how to like do it, and people had all the technology wasn't there yet. So I made all the big paintings, and then I had a lot of big screens showing animation beside the painting. So for now, this is like really a dream that now you could put the animation into the picture, and I just love that idea that you can have like you can have pictures on the wall, and inside this there is a hidden thing going on, and you can choose to see it from time to time. You don't have to do it, but you know you can have like, for me of course, this is like, I like this picture, but I love the poetry going on inside, and it's like you have a hidden little jewel in some way. It's not because it's my work, it's just like I think it's like it's a little diamond inside a frame that I just think is so amazing. And it's just this technology and the way to do it just inspired me so much that now I'm like starting this or working on this very huge project to try something out like it's just made for this format. So it's only animation made for augmented reality pieces on the wall. I don't know what it can lead to, but it's just something I have to try to do because it's like so fun to, and I just love the exploration.
Yeah. It's really exciting what you can do with new technology. But can you like tell us a little bit more about the printing process? Also, like how is it actually printed in like one piece of paper?
It is actually just some really good printing company I found and I work together with, where you have this possibility for printing with like 10 colors. Like, you know, and sometimes you print like with, you know, 3 colors and one, or, you know, smyk, or all this question, all these things it's called. But this is like a very deep print with all colors. Like, so the colors I use, they really get out of the paper, and it's also because of this paper is like so delicious, very expensive and very high quality, and with a lot of structure, which makes the drawings really come out of the paper in some way. So I'm really sad that it's that I couldn't like let people touch it, because this is the fun part also, but maybe you get an idea of how nice it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and is it possible to buy your works somewhere?
Yes, it is. I have made a lot of this augmented reality prints and a lot. It's limited edition, but I still have some few of my good works left, and you can actually buy them by just contacting me, because now I'm not having an exhibition at a gallery at the moment. But still, if you need it for some reason, you can just contact me, call me or write me, and I will you can come up and pick it up at my studio. And this one is also really great.
Should we try another one? Maybe with the yes.
I don't know if you could try this one.
Yeah. Let's see if it works.
You wanna
I can hold it and then you can show.
So you have to like grab the butterfly. You can see the whole frame, but go a little closer and grab the butterfly, and then you can go out and watch the whole thing still. And this is another way of just like having a whole little film inside a picture on the wall.
Yeah, it's crazy how it's just one piece of paper and this whole thing is in it.
Yes, 750 drawings.
Wow.
But
so nice. Should we try the other one?
Yeah,
that
do
you
it.
have
Do
here?
it.
Let's do it. Is it okay here? Here? There's also sound on them.
On some of them there is. I've been working with different tryouts, let's say so. But because I had to like figure out, I wasn't sure how it would work, and at some point I wanted to try to have some of them like really a picture coming alive. And when you have the sound on, I was a little, I asked myself the question that maybe when the sound is on, it seems more like just a film on the wall. And I really are trying now to make some pieces that really is the picture on the wall coming alive. But in my new project working on now, I will incorporate sound. I think in all the pieces, but very, very like sophisticated. I don't know how to say, but yeah. Because then it's of course when you watch animated stuff, the sound really open up the picture. But in this way, you really have to like found the balance between that it is the picture on the wall getting alive, and that the sound doesn't take over, so you see it like a film. I still want it to be like, if it makes sense, a little pushed away from the experience watching a film. So yeah, but this is something I'm working on. So I will try and see what's happening and what's working, and it will be different from piece to piece. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really nice concept. It's like having it through the looking glass a little bit.
Yeah.
And like you jump into the rabbit hole a little bit when you're watching this.
Yeah.
And
I think some of the amazing stuff is also when you have the picture on the wall and you grab it. You have to be at a certain distance to grab it, but then when you have grabbed it, you can actually get so close to the animation, more close when you watch animation. Normally, you sit on a computer or a big screen cinema, but there's kind of a distance between you as a viewer and the animated stuff. But here you have the possibility to go so super close, dive into small parts of the animation. And see it very like closely and go around inside the animation at a little adventure. And this is what I'm trying to like really progress in this new project, like really fill it out with stuff that takes over from each other, so you can grab it and then you can dive into small parts. I think it can be like a little journey in some way. Yeah,
it's really exciting. I'm super into it. I do have some questions from the audience, actually. Quite a few. Sandra is asking, your art and style style looks very feminine. Is that something you have thought about or like to express? femininity?
I don't think I really thought about it. It's like my style like just developed out of like working with it, and I know that it's possible for people who know what I do to see she has done it. So and I also you know, it's okay that you can see it as a maybe it's feminine, but I am also quite feminine in some way. I'm not just that, but you know, I didn't thought about it, but it's just what comes out of me in some way. So I think it's, yeah, I love colors, and I want it to be like, I don't know, I love colors. So maybe that's also a thing.
That could be it.
Yeah.
And then I also have another question from Yasmina. She says, I really love the way you portrayed touch and matter in your movies. In a way, these 2D images feel very physical and real. It is a very unique style, but is there any animator that inspired you or that had an impact on your style?
Well, there's a lot of animators I like, and a lot of animation films I like. I think for my own work, of course you get inspired of everything that you see. I mean, when you discover things in other films, it goes into you hopefully and have an impact on you. But maybe for like, if I should talk about direct inspiration, and I understand the question more like that, even if it's not animation, I think I'm like really inspired of of people on the street actually, and how they move, and how they, you know, just stand, postures, and physicality in some way. And also I'm really inspired of sculptures. Not that I do it myself, but when I look at sculptures out at museums, but also sculptures we have in the out in the city, even if I know them very well, I can still like stand looking at them for a long time. So I don't know, this, I can watch this sculpture and then I see an animation in front of my eyes. So yeah, I don't know.
What is your latest favorite sculpture?
It's one I have been watching at it like so many times. It's in a shop, and I also asked for how the price is, and I even got like, I think I got a discount at the price, but I didn't bought it yet because I'm really like out of money at the time. But it's a little it's a sculpture this tall, and it's white porcelain, and it's a woman, naked woman standing, and she has like adorable curves, like, and she's standing with a little baby boy on her arm, and they are like smashing cheek to cheek, like in a very soft embrace. Yeah. And you can just see the little child's stomach and the little penis and the small feet, and oh my God, I love it. And I want to do something with that inspiration I got from that. Like, I don't know, maybe I already did it, because I made a lot of hugs with the children and growing ups, and in embraces there's a lot of that. But even if I did that film where a lot of human beings and animals and life being is hugging and loving each other, I'm not finished with that, you know, in some way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of like cushiony feelings in your work, and like soft touches, and so well, I really like this animation where you can feel that like you're taking something is like grabbing each other. Yeah, I like that. The electricity between some. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You also mentioned that in the conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one of your topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super nice. I think I have. Yes, I have a question from my Wen. She's asking if where we can see your augmented reality drawings in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
If they're anywhere.
At the moment, there isn't any place they're hanging. I'm planning to do an kind of pop-up, or I was planning to do a pop-up exhibition now in November or beginning of December, but because of COVID-19 I'm not sure if it will be possible for me to do. But you are always welcome to contact me and come by my studio, and I will show it to people. Yeah,
that's also a really nice offer.
Yeah, it's an open offer for the moment. Yeah. I'm looking for a place because I'm having an idea of making my own augmented reality gallery. But and maybe I'm been looking at a lot of places, but I don't know. Maybe next year, the year after, I don't know. I think it could be awesome to make an augmented reality gallery, not just with my own art, but with other people's augmented reality art. So it's a little dream, but like, you know, sometimes you have like, maybe will not come true, but maybe it will. But so this is also why I'm open to show it to people if they want to see it.
That's super exciting. Do you work with other people sometimes on augmented reality works, or do you
with
have some peers in Copenhagen that are inspiring you? Or
in the animation, you mean if I work with people, or
if like other people who are doing similar work?
Well,
augmented reality.
No, I don't. I don't have so many. I don't know so many doing stuff only for augmented reality. But I have some friends doing a lot of virtual reality, and this is also something I would love to do in the future. But at the moment now, I will concentrate on this. But I think even if it's very different to make virtual reality and augmented reality, it's still like we are still like bonding over this. This strange reality outside ourselves. So yeah, so I have some people I talk a lot about it with. Like
Okay, so
but for working, I'm working always with all my films. I'm having the same composer on the films, and this guy Sune Køter-Kølster, he also is the one who's gonna make all my soundscapes for this new augmented reality project. So this is a guy I work with always, and we also talk about ideas and stuff like that.
I love the sound also in your shorts, and I wanted to. That was one of my other questions, but now you answered that. And then actually, I wanted to ask you about you. You said in the VOID conversations that you work a lot with emotions, and that you. Like to work with the notion of love, and are there any other emotions that you work with, or something that you now work with more predominantly?
I think I work with a lot of emotions actually, but I think love is not one emotion for me. It's like a lot of different things. So there's I mean, inside the feeling of love, there's also a lot of contradictions, and so it's maybe this is what I think it's about, because I want to I don't know if I want to spread love, but I'm concerned about love in some way, and I think it's still something we need to like talk a lot about in some way, because we have a lot of not love going on in the world. So even if it seems and maybe sounds a bit like retro hippie-ish, it's not that way. I think it's a little more, kind of political love, if you can say so. So I would like to if that makes sense.
Yeah,
to
that
call
makes
it
sense.
political love,
Yeah.
I think it's quite good actually, but because it's like it's important to make stuff that like somebody I've been talking. A lot of people I talked to watched Embraces. They got touched by it, but they also had some thoughts about how to meet other people, and this is what I call political love in some way. Like you think about how you meet new people, and some of my ideas with that film is really to make people think a bit about how we meet people we don't know, and why it's very common and very like often people meet new people with a kind of fear for what they don't know, and I would like to contribute to think about maybe not to be so frightened about things we don't know. I don't know if it was answer of the question.
No, I think
it
that's
became
a great
something
answer.
else.
No, but
Okay.
that's perfect. No problem.
Yeah.
I'm just checking if there are any other questions. Oh, yes, there are. Sorry, there's quite a few questions. Yes, Contessa, she asked also if it's possible to see your work somewhere in real life, but we got the answer now. And she's also asking, are you interested in exploring new ways of expressing your animation through technology? Will you ever do a game?
Well, I've been thinking about. I'm not in. Well, in some way, I've been thinking about game, but maybe it could be. I will not say no. It could be. Yeah, it could be.
It could be an option.
If I could like maybe a different kind of game with I don't know, a kind of strange game trip. But it could be. I've been thinking a bit about making a series, like a web series. That I think maybe is first in my line after this augmented
like an
reality.
interactive series kind of.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting to make like you could maybe imagine that you're making like also, this is a little bit already in my augmented reality plans, because I'm working also beside this augmented reality project I was telling you a little bit about. I'm also working on a new short film, and in that short film it's also have a part which is an augmented reality exhibition connected to the film. So in that way, and that is a little like, you have the film, and inside some paintings there's dimensions of the film which is not in the film but helps understand more deeply the character in the film. So in that way you can say I'm already working a little bit on it, but I don't know, you know, with my non-budget kind of working, it takes some years to fulfill, but it will be at some point. Yeah.
It sounds super interesting.
Yeah, I think it could be a really good experience, like to watch it. Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, for sure.
The story is,
I'm
everything
definitely
is,
gonna go.
Yeah,
if it's
good.
happening, I'm gonna be there. I have one more question. Do you have any favorite artists that you are inspired by? Sandra is asking.
I have a lot of artists I'm inspired by, and it's always really difficult for me to point out a few, because it's like, I mean, life is inspiring, but art is like, and I'm really much into art in all the art forms. I'm like, I love music, and I'm using music a lot. I'm listening to so much music in a lot of my working phases, not when I'm defining my stories and animating, but I have a lot of work with working with colors, and in this phase, coloring and editing, I'm listening to so much music, and this is an art form that I wouldn't be able to, I mean, I would be so sad if it wasn't there. And I have the same with like with the literature. I'm reading a lot also, and also film and pictures. But if we talk about an artist, like always when I'm like asked this, the pumps up to my mind, even if I feel it's difficult to say some, then Robert Crumb was one of the first cartoon drawers that I realized as was something special, because I knew, you know, Anna Sandblad, Donald Duck and stuff like that, and I was like 6 years old, I think, when I saw the first Robert Crumb. And if you know Robert Crumb, maybe it's not meant for children to see, but I was super, you know, I got super much into it, and I love his drawing style, and at that point I also loved the strange situations he draw, and I was like really like into it. So all this American small signs I got from my father, and there was Robert Crumb in all of them, and also a lot of other drawers, and all those magazines was like huge inspiration for me. And then at some point when I was a little older, I realized a painter called Alan Jones, and he did some stuff which now is like really, I don't know what people think about it, but still it inspired me a lot, because he's like super colorful, and he loves women's shapes, and he has this shoe fetish, and you know, it's just like, I don't know, it turned me on in some way. So this is like two artists that I'm always thinking about if I should point out to, but I think there's like so many. So
plenty more.
yeah.
So what music are you listening to, or it's all kinds of music?
All kinds of music. Yeah. But at the moment I'm listening a lot to Arabic music actually, and yeah, I'm spending a lot of time listening to that at the moment. But I have not any, you know, genre I don't like. I like a lot of different music. Yeah.
So whatever works well with the flow.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you about maybe I don't know how much time we have left. A little time left. Okay. I wanted to ask you about your first experiences with starting animation. We watched a little bit in the VOID conversations.
Yeah.
That you started with an internship.
Yes.
Yes.
I was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
It was an internship, and that meant the whole world to me. That I was there, and they said just to have me, and I saw it, and I got like super excited. And I mean, of course now I know a lot more about it, but I'm the same kind of excited now as when I was 14, and maybe it tells a little bit about that I'm not like Like maybe I don't know what it tells, but anyway, it's like I'm feeling the same way about it now. And when I watch drawings and people sitting and you know having drawings with a character and doing small movements and coloring it, it's like it gets me so excited still. And I mean, for me, I was so lucky to come there, and this is also why I myself have like people in as an interns from time to time, because I know this can be a life changer if you come to an internship with something you don't even know was there, and then it could be like what you want to spend your life with. And for me, it was love at first sight, and it's forever lasting love in some way. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah. But it took many years for me to make my own studio and do my own stuff. But I mean, better late than never.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So what would be like? What would your recommendation be or advice be to aspiring animators, young artists?
I'm teaching a lot actually in making animation as an art form, as a personal art form. And some of the things I always says to them is just to do it and don't think that this work you're working on now should be perfect. This is what it is, and next time you make another one. This is one of the things that works for me when I started making my own films. The first time I was like, now I'm gonna make a little short, and I made one called Walking Between Each Other and Itself, and it's only a 2-minute film. Maybe it was not the first, but it was the first I felt was a really like this is my own little film. And when I started on it, I was like, oh my God, what should I do? And it could be this, and you know I had so many questions. And then you know very fast, maybe 4 minutes later, because I'm like super fast decisioner, I was like, I don't want to ask myself all these questions. Now I'm just going to make this film. It's not going to be the best film in the world, but this is the film I'm making now. And I think in some way this is a very good advice. I think it had helped me a lot, because you can feel it can be very hard to find your own artistic voice. And because so many people is doing so many amazing stuff. And sometimes if you're young and if you have insecurity in you, which I also have, like from time to time, I'm like, what is it I'm doing? Then it can be like a very good thing to say to yourself, I'm doing this now because it's so fun and I want to do it, and maybe it's not the best art piece in the world, but this is what I'm doing now, and then I do something next time different. Mm-hmm. So just to do it, and don't be so afraid, and don't think about what people will think about it. Do it for yourself, do it because you cannot not do it, and do it because you love it, and you know, feel free to, because there is no right and wrong in this animation art world. You can do anything. I don't know if it's an advice.
I think that's a great advice for people to start getting into it. I think there's one more question here from Yasmina. She's curious about the Arabic artists you're listening to.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a lot. It's like, of course, it's Kulthum, it's Fairuz, it's Lena Chamamyan, it's what's his name? The names is very difficult, but I will write. I can write it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I think that would be super nice.
Sure.
I'm gonna go and listen to them also. Other than that, I don't know. Are there any other questions from the audience? Maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
No?
But thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me
and answering all these questions. It was really wonderful.
It was very amazing sitting with you in this beautiful little chat room.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.